lots been made, and we saw the scenes of being in front of the Kop. I'd be a little disappointed if I had a seat in the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand down the foreign, because it's all in front of the Kop, wasn't it? And the fact that it was the first time they could celebrate in front of fans for 35 years, because, of course, COVID was there. But how does this compare to that COVID title, this winning of the trophy?
Well, I think just listening to, some of the players that have experienced both, Andy Robertson, Mo Salah, they were speaking about, obviously, it was huge winning the title then under Klopp. It had been a long period of time, but it was just the fact that they couldn't celebrate with the fans. You could see yesterday, like Stephen said, I obviously wasn't in the stadium, but you could see there, just the pure joy. And, like I say, this was, brilliant from a Liverpool perspective and Jurgen Klopp. But it's just not the same, is it, without the fans, without the atmosphere. So you could see that the fans were certainly making up for it yesterday. I
was at that stage at the ground that night when Liverpool won the title, and it was a moment when you look round and you think, this isn't right. Yeah. It's not the right way to celebrate.
Compare that to this.
Compared to this yesterday. And what was very interesting yesterday was just towards the end of the game, the Liverpool's fans, with about 2 minutes to go, started singing, and they were very vocal. And Arne Slot turned round to his bench and he said to his staff, get up here, enjoy this, take it in and look round and make sure you enjoy these scenes, because that's what it's all about. It's making sure that you enjoy the moment with the fan group, and these are special memories that you might not get again, because we don't know when Liverpool might win a Premier League again. It's so competitive. So, to enjoy those moments yesterday for the staff, for the players, I think it meant so much more yesterday. And I still feel for the guys back in the COVID season, because they weren't able to share it with the fans.
No, and 5-1, maybe, who knows? His dad might have been impressed by that game yesterday. I mean, maybe. There's a thing. Yeah. We heard, the trademark of him this season, he's been calm, he's been... there's been no sort of nastiness coming out. He's had a lot to deal with, and even yesterday he could have taken all the accolades for himself, but what he actually did was he paid a lovely compliment back to his predecessor Jurgen Klopp, didn't he, during the celebrations. What does that say about him as a human being, Arne Slot, and his appreciation for Klopp?
Yeah, I think it just shows the class of the guy, doesn't it, and what he's all about. I think he understands the work that had been done before him, and he's just trying to continue that on and to try and add his little stamp on it. But I think also what you have to give credit to is the recruitment side of it, who went out and found Arne Slot and said, this is the group of players that he can work with and will be able to improve, will be able to make better. One signing was made in the summer transfer window, which tells you an awful lot, that what Jurgen Klopp had left behind wasn't far off being able to compete for or to win a Premier League title, because we know the season before they were 5 points clear at one point and then almost sort of gave that up and handed it over to Manchester City, which was disappointing from Liverpool's point of view. But at one point they were competing for a quadruple, so they weren't a million miles away, and he's just managed to get them over the line. But I think when you think of the way he's handled himself this year, whether it's been press conferences, he's been very honest. I think he's been a credit to the football club in the way that he's come in and done a magnificent job.
Right. Let's go to the voice of neutrality on this point.
Not sure about that.
A record equalling 20th top division league title. Does that end the debate on who is the greatest club in England now?
Well, I was listening to Gary Neville talking on this, and obviously, his Manchester United side on it, and he said, well, yeah, because I think you have to look, don't you, at... When you look at a successful club, of course, you look at, the fan base and globally how big they are, but you also look at the trophies that they've won and how successful they've been. So, yeah, that's exactly what Liverpool will say now. So,
well, depends if you include Community Shields, doesn't it? I mean, very important, Community Shields, because if you go just on major trophies, 52 to 47.
I think it's the Premier League, isn't it?
If you include Community Shields, it's 68 trophies each
Well, I think it's when you look at the Premier League, that's you've had to be consistent for a whole league.
Well, Premier League is 13 Man United, 2 Liverpool. If you include Football League titles, 20 each.
Yeah.
But then you go European Cups.
Well, Community Shield's very important. Who needs those European Cups?
Yeah.
Just for you. Are you cancelling your holiday to Manchester after what you're about to say? Does that end the debate here? I have no skin in this game at all.
Don't go to Manchester anyway, Rob.
I have no skin in this game. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
No, I think it does put Liverpool ahead of Manchester United. I think it's a rivalry that's been there for a long, long time now. Liverpool was streets ahead at one point. Manchester United rightly have closed that gap and went ahead. But now, when you look at Liverpool and where they are in the last few years, Liverpool are the most successful when you look at major trophies.
Community Shields, it's tied, 68 each.
But Liverpool might win another one.
Anyway, moving on. No, I have absolutely no skin. I don't care really who's better.
No.
It provides competition.
It does, that's what you want.
That's the good thing. Right, they've done it with games to spare. Celebrations rightly continue into the coming weeks. But it's almost as if you could see Slot's mind churning even when he was standing there singing You'll Never Walk Alone in front of the Kop ahead to next season. He's tied up Salah, Van Dijk. What happens with Trent Alexander-Arnold? And who goes? Because I was looking around a few of them and I wondered.
Yeah, there will be work to be done in the summer with the transfer window. He'll have made his mind up on players already. He'll know who he wants to leave the football club, or if bids came in that he'd be happy for them to go. I think the work behind the scenes will have been done looking at players that they would like to sign, if available, if the right bid goes in, would it be accepted? So I think that work will have already been done behind the scenes, because I think they've known for a few weeks now that the title will have been, it's there or thereabouts. But now that it's been done, all eyes will focus on that and how to continue progressing Liverpool Football Club and making sure that they go in the right direction, not just for the next year, but the next 5 years, maybe 10 years, whatever it might be. And that will be making sure that they sign the right players. But it's not about just the right players, it's about the right players who can come with the ability to shoulder the weight of expectation. Because when you go to Liverpool, you have to compete for Premier League, Champions League, cup competitions. You have to be able to do that throughout a season, and they've got to have that right mentality to be able to do that.
Well, they always say strengthen, don't they, when you're in a strong position. So you think they're in such a strong position now. Can they strengthen? Because the other teams around them, you would say, will also strengthen and will want to bridge that gap. So it's important now, isn't it? Like, they get the recruitment right and they get the right type of characters in. But you look at the squad at the moment, it's just certain tweaks, isn't it?
I think the other thing is, well, last season, if Liverpool went in for certain players, I think there might have been a little bit of apprehension as to, I don't know what Arne Slot's going to be like. Yeah. Is it a transitional sort of 3 or 4 years? Now everyone will be going, I'm going there. Yeah. I want to go there. So if the phone call goes in, players will be excited to go there.
Do you really never go to Manchester?
I do, really.
Yeah, you're missing out on so much.
Yeah.
Right.